What's up guys, it's Hubert here from Strength and Honor Endurance. Today I will be going through training zones, what they are, how to define them in terms of rate of perceived effort, and also how to know when you are in these zones without a Garmin watch or any specific metrics, just based on how you are feeling and on your breathing and using a talk test. So thank you very much for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, and I thank you very much for all the support and everything. I'm actually feeling very ashamed and embarrassed. I went for a massive dental operation recently, so I've got a dental brace in my mouth, which I'm still trying to find out if I should sound drunk with a lisp or take the brace out and look drunk without the teeth, but I'm still trying to figure that out. But I'm going to give it a go with the dental brace. Right, let's get into the information that you all want to know. Training zones, and I've thought about this for a great while. There's so many information out there for new runners and beginner runners. You get so confused later on with LSD, tempo, lactate. You don't know what's going on. I'm going to simplify it for you in two very, very simple ways. It's easy runs and hard runs. Your easy runs is the majority of your runs, your base runs, and your hard runs should be of shorter duration. I'm going to use a visual aid, which is a robot sign, to identify these levels. So in your easy run, there's two levels, your blue zone and green zone. I like to think of them as grass and sunshine and water. It's your fun and enjoyable zones, your blue and your green zone. And then your orange and red is more your danger colors, like the robot, which says you should slow down or stop or be careful. So what are the levels? You get red, orange, green, and blue. Red is your VO2 max, maximum effort. Orange is your lactate threshold level or lactate level. Green is your endurance level, and your blue is your base and recovery zone or easy runs. So all coaches nowadays prefer metric that is called rate of perceived effort, which is a very good metric to use, and you can use it without one of these smart watches or a heart rate strap. I'm going to explain that to you now as well, but let's go through the scale of rate of perceived effort in these four zones that I've just mentioned. Right at the top, 10 would be being chased by a lion and you're going to get eaten and you're running for your life to save your life. Maximum effort. Hopefully you never have to go there. And then right at the bottom of the scale, you get 0, which is where I'm sitting now. Heart rate is steady and low and relaxed. And then 1, maybe going for a walk and your heart rate's a little bit effort, and it's just normal activity mode. So then you get 2 and 3, your blue zone. 4 and 5 is your endurance zone, your green zone. 6 and 7 is your lactate threshold zone. And 8 and 9 is your VO2 max, your red zone. So how do you know the best way of determining when are you in one of these zones? And I'll cover now what they are. But how do you know you are in them without the heart rate monitor telling you in which zones you are and what's going on? So in 2 and 3, you should be able to, let's talk about breathing and doing a talk test. I did it, actually used it this morning. My heart rate felt a bit elevated, but I used it and I say a sentence out loud and I start talking out loud. So in the blue zone, you should be able to hold a conversation on the phone or with a running partner and speak in full sentences with breathing, but the other person should be able to hear that you are exercising. but it should be very easy. You should be able to talk and hold a conversation with somebody. Then you go into your green zone, your endurance zone, level 4 and 5, where you should also be able to hold a conversation, but it should feel difficult to do it. And obviously somebody else would also be able to hear that you are exercising and there's something wrong in the tone of your voice. And then you get to 6 and 7, where your heart rate is elevated now, you're in the lactate orange zone, the lactate threshold, and you speaking in sentences of shortened words, like 4 or 5 words or 6 or 7 words. For instance, I would say, "Hi, I'm Coach Hubri from Strength and Honor Endurance. I live in Hillbrow, South Africa." And so there's a couple of words, but audible oxygen intake, breath that you're going to take. And then your high, your top zone that everybody knows about, your VO2 max that you've heard about for a very long time. You should be able to speak 1 or 2 words in a pause without taking a breath. So you're going to say, "My name is Hubri, Strength and Honor Endurance," a very, very high effort. So in that way, you can always tell in terms of speaking or talking, saying a sentence out loud, in which of these zones you are in, and if you are training too hard or you're training too easy. So what are these zones? The blue zone, I like to do a lot of my training there, and I think a lot of coaches recommend it. The methodology around that is it's an easy zone to maintain, and the idea is that you can do a lot more training in that zone without getting injured, but also when you're doing a lot more training, your body becomes more efficient in whatever it's doing, if it's running or cycling or whatever the case may be. I'm referring to running mostly because I'm a runner. Then your green zone is your endurance zone. So typically when you're a new runner, say you're doing a 10K and you're running that whole 10 kilometer, for instance, to take an example, at 6 minutes per kilometer. If your endurance zone is not that great, you'll see that in your Garmin stats. Your heart rate, for the same effort, your heart rate will start elevating because you haven't got that endurance fitness over time. So that's something that you can train building blocks over time and build your endurance base. Then your lactate threshold, or lactate, is your body's, you consume food. For those of you who don't know, you consume food, and all food, your body, your stomach abstract glucose from the food, and it's stored in your muscle, and there's all fancy words of glycogen, this and that, but it's basically stored in your muscle and liver as energy, and as you're running, it's converted into energy. You use that as fuel for the food that you have eaten already. Just to add something there, a lot of people talk about lactate threshold. That's that burn when you get in the muscle. It's a buildup of lactate in your body's inability to convert that into energy, and it spills over into your bloodstream. So that's a very important thing for me personally to train, is that lactate level and getting your body more efficient at converting that lactate into energy and be a lot more efficient runner. And then your top one is your VO2 max. That's your lungs' ability to take in oxygen and be more efficient in taking in oxygen and converting that into your body and power your running. So that's it. That's the main levels, and I think the easiest way to always know where you are and what it's all about. In coaching, I think a coach will, I'm going to give you guys this tip. Normally, if you're a more experienced runner, they will focus on 3-week building blocks, but the idea always will be to put your body under stress and adapt. Put it under stress, adapt, and repeat, and become a better runner over time. The trick is here not to, you want to put enough stress on and recover, but not stress on stress on stress on stress, then you get injured and you get overtrained. So we're looking at building blocks. I still, to this day, work in 4-week building blocks, where I'll taper up my running for 3 weeks and then take a recovery week. And within these, I'll build up in these 4-week blocks. For over a year or two, I'll build up mileage, build up my endurance, and then specifically focus on lactate or VO2 max and specific blocks. So that's the justify. There's the concept of that. There's many tools and stuff to use for specific people in specific circumstances, at specific levels, at specific life circumstances. And I think for me, I think for coaches, it's having to take all that variables and all these training things and apply that for you as a runner. But I've shared this information. If you just want to step up your game, now you know the levels. It's important to have a good lactate threshold. Obviously your VO2 max, as I said, everybody knows about. Your endurance ability and your baseline or easy mileage run to become more efficient as a runner. Finally, I've been a lot of serious talk, but the robot analogy I used, the red, orange, green, like South African road and motorist, as in running, you can completely ignore the signs if it's red and just keep on going and smash it. Guys, thank you very much. That's stuff that I think about when I'm running. I know most runners know all this stuff, but beginner for a very long time, I didn't know it. So I'm going to put it out there, and hopefully that helps you as a runner to be better. And again, thank you very much for all the likes and subscribe and support. It is amazing. It's mind-blowing. Sometimes I still can't wrap my head around that somebody wants to listen to what I've got to say. Apologies again for the, like we call in Afrikaans, plaatjie. At this moment, I still like to smile and sound drunk. Then I'm not going to take it. I'm too shy. I'm not going to take it out. Maybe on the next one, I'll take it out. But I lost this tooth here. It's only for 6 months. Then I'm going to get my implant. So I hope this video helped. I'm digressing. Sorry. Thank you very much for all the love and support, guys. That's the 4 major zones that you've got to focus on: red, orange, green, and blue. Happy days.